What I learned from Thomas Edison that got me closer to my first million. The light bulb burned out for the 17th time that night. I was sitting on the floor of my empty apartment, surrounded by piles of unpaid bills and eviction notices. My startup had failed. My bank account showed $47, and for the first time in my life, I understood why people give up. The irony wasn't lost on me. Here I was, in the dark, literally and figuratively, thinking about Thomas Edison. The night everything changed. 6 months earlier, I'd been a corporate executive with a 6-figure salary, corner office, company car, the works. But something was missing. Every morning, I'd stare at myself in the mirror and see a stranger, someone who'd traded dreams for security, passion for paychecks. Then I found a biography of Thomas Edison on a park bench. Someone had left it behind, pages yellowed and corners bent. I almost threw it away. Thank God I didn't. The first lesson: failure is data. Edison failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. 10,000 times. When a reporter asked him how it felt to fail so many times, Edison replied, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That quote hit me like lightning. In my corporate job, I'd been taught that failure was career suicide. One mistake could derail everything. So I played it safe, followed the rules, stayed in my lane. But Edison, he collected failures like trophies. Each one brought him closer to success. If you're finding value in this story, hit that subscribe button. I share lessons from history's greatest minds every week, lessons that changed my life and can change yours too. My first 1,000 failures. I quit my job the next Monday. Everyone thought I'd lost my mind. My parents stopped talking to me. My girlfriend left. Friends disappeared. I started a tech company with my savings, built an app I was sure would revolutionize productivity. It failed in 3 months. Started another one, failed in 2. By the 6th failure, I'd burned through my savings, maxed out credit cards, and was sleeping on a friend's couch. But something strange was happening. Each failure taught me something crucial. The first showed me I didn't understand my market. The second revealed gaps in my technical knowledge. The third exposed my weak leadership skills. I wasn't failing, I was learning. The second lesson: systems beat talent. Edison wasn't just an inventor, he was a machine. He created the world's first research and development laboratory in Menlo Park, hired teams, developed processes, built systems. While others relied on random sparks of genius, Edison manufactured innovation. I realized I'd been approaching business like an artist, not an engineer, waiting for inspiration, hoping for breakthroughs. So I built my own system. 5 a.m., wake up, meditate, exercise. 6 a.m., deep work on product development. 9 a.m., customer calls and feedback. 12 p.m., lunch and learning, always with a book or podcast. 1 p.m., marketing and sales. 5 p.m., team meetings and planning. 7 p.m., dinner and family time. 9 p.m., reading and skill development. 11 p.m., sleep. Every single day. No exceptions, no excuses. The breakthrough moment. Failure number 9 was different. I'd built a simple tool that helped small businesses automate their invoicing. Nothing revolutionary, nothing sexy. But this time, I'd listened, really listened. I'd interviewed 200 small business owners, understood their pain points, built exactly what they needed, not what I thought they needed. The first customer signed up on a Tuesday. By Friday, I had 10. By the end of the month, 100. This is where most people think the story ends. It doesn't. If you're serious about building wealth, about changing your life, subscribe now. The real lessons are coming. The third lesson: persistence is everything. Edison held 1,093 patents, but here's what most people don't know. He was partially deaf. Imagine that, an inventor who couldn't fully hear. A man who created the phonograph despite his disability. He could have used it as an excuse. Instead, he said his deafness helped him concentrate better. When my app started gaining traction, everything that could go wrong did. Our servers crashed during a major product demo. A competitor with deep pockets tried to copy us. My lead developer quit to join Google. A client sued us over a misunderstanding. Each crisis felt like the end. But I remembered Edison in his laboratory, partially deaf, working through the night, failing, learning, persisting. So I fixed the servers, fought the competitor, hired better developers, settled the lawsuit. Persistence isn't just about not giving up, it's about getting up, again and again and again. The money started flowing. By month 6, we hit $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Month 9, $50,000. Year 1, $150,000. But here's what nobody tells you about success. It's scarier than failure. When you're failing, you have nothing to lose. When you're succeeding, you have everything to lose. I started playing it safe again, stopped innovating, focused on protecting what I'd built instead of growing it. Revenue plateaued, growth stalled. The fourth lesson: innovation never stops. Edison didn't stop at the light bulb. He invented the phonograph, motion picture camera, alkaline battery. He founded General Electric, built power stations, created entire industries. He understood that innovation isn't a destination, it's a way of life. I was treating my business like a fortress to defend, not a laboratory to explore. So I went back to the beginning, started talking to customers again, looking for new problems to solve, building, testing, failing, learning. We launched 3 new features. 2 failed spectacularly. The third increased our revenue by 400%. If this resonates with you, if you're tired of playing small, subscribe to this channel. I'm building a community of people who refuse to settle. Join us. The fifth lesson: impact beats income. Edison could have stopped after making his first million. He didn't. Why? Because he understood something profound. Money is just a tool. Impact is the goal. He wanted to light up the world, literally. As my business grew, I faced a choice: cash out and retire early, or use the platform to create real change. I chose change. We started offering free versions to nonprofits, created training programs for underprivileged entrepreneurs, hired people from unconventional backgrounds. Something magical happened. The more we gave, the more we grew. Our paid customers increased. Our team became more motivated. Our product improved faster. By focusing on impact, income followed naturally. The moment of truth. 2 years after that night on my apartment floor, I checked my bank account. $1,247,832. My first million. Plus change. But the number felt hollow, because I'd learned something more valuable than money. I'd learned how to think like Edison. Not just about business, about life. Every problem became
an opportunity. Every failure became data. Every setback became a setup for something greater. The sixth lesson. Success is a mindset. Edison famously said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Everyone focuses on the perspiration part, the hard work, the grind. But I think the real genius is in the 1%. The decision to see differently, to believe when nobody else does, to persist when logic says quit. That's not perspiration. That's transformation. Still with me? Good. Because if you've read this far, you're ready for the truth. Subscribe now and let's build something extraordinary together. What Edison really taught me. Here's what that biography didn't say, but what I learned anyway. Success isn't about the light bulb moments. It's about the dark moments. The moments when the bulb burns out and you have to try again. It's about sitting on the floor of an empty apartment and choosing to stand up. It's about failing forward, systematically, purposefully, relentlessly. Edison didn't just invent the light bulb. He invented a way of thinking, a way of being. And that way of thinking is available to anyone, including you, especially you. Your Edison moment. Right now, someone reading this is sitting in their own dark apartment, surrounded by their own bills, facing their own failures. This is for you. Your Edison moment isn't when you succeed. It's right now, when you decide to try one more time. When you choose to see failure as data. When you build systems instead of hoping for luck. When you persist despite the deafness of doubt. When you realize that innovation isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most persistent person in the arena. The $1 Million Mindset. Want to know the exact mindset shift that took me from $47 to $1.2 million? Here it is. Stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like Edison. Employees avoid failure. Edison collected it. Employees work for money. Edison worked for impact. Employees saw problems. Edison saw opportunities. Employees quit after setbacks. Edison quit only after success. This isn't about becoming an entrepreneur. It's about becoming unstoppable. The final truth. That light bulb that burned out 17 times, I kept it. It sits on my desk now, burnt out and beautiful. A reminder that darkness is just the beginning. Because here's what Edison knew that most people don't. The darkness isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It shows you what doesn't work. It forces you to find new ways. It makes the light, when it finally comes, that much brighter. If you're ready to find your light, to build your $1 million mindset,
Subscribe to this channel right now. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below with your biggest takeaway. Your next step. You have two choices right now. You can close this video and go back to your life, back to the excuses, back to the comfort, back to the darkness. Or you can make a decision. The same decision I made that night on my apartment floor. The same decision Edison made 10,000 times. To try one more time. To build your system. To persist through failure. To focus on impact. To think differently. To finally turn on your light. The world is waiting for what you have to offer. Your ideas, your solutions, your persistence. Your Edison moment is now. What will you do with it? Subscribe to this channel. Join our community of modern-day Edisons. Let's light up the world together. Because remember, you're not failing, you're learning, and you're just one experiment away from changing everything. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's build your million-dollar mindset. Your future self will thank you. See you in the next video. P.S. Edison had a saying I repeat every day. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. One more time. Always one more time. Your one more time starts now.
See if you've made it this far and are ready to prosper. Click on one of the stories appearing on your screen. Each story is a compass guiding you toward true financial prosperity. See you there.